All right.
and all that
So I'll say that again. Let me just say it again because I'm recording. I'm on myself, so I'll just say it again. All right. So we're establishing a consulting company that's going to transition organizations into smart DAOs, and that is the entity that can be set up as an LLC or a C corporation or whatever, however we want to set it up in the traditional way, and that is where the investors can put money in.
So
That is not Foundups. I'm thinking that I mean, technically, it could be. I could name it whatever. We can name it whatever we want. But I think we want to call it the Smart DAO, right? So the entity that we set up,
so whatever
yeah.
so okay, so then there's Foundups, and this isn't the idea that you know, 8 years ago, whatever. It's because people get access to these Founder tokens to do these goodwill projects, but that only happens if there's this $1.6 billion of tokens. I don't know. I'm confused a little bit there.
So
How do we?
so anyone on the platform that we launch, okay, can launch their own idea in token. When they launch, and this is what again what BitClout has done. What they did was they applied it to Twitter. So you create a Twitter address, and that is your token. This is why we're forking them. When you create your found up, right? It doesn't have to be it could be your project, your idea on it, and
So
and
let
it,
me say something back to you then. Okay, here we go. So then the consulting company is going after larger companies, but then we have maybe a website that brings in founders that offers them this ability to use this as a way to start their startup, their found up.
yes,
But in the eyes of the consulting company, it's just one way,
yeah.
and
The
it's for
consulting.
smaller people, not for
Correct. This is be foundups.com will be what BitClout is, right? You go to foundups.com, you launch your idea, and it levels up. There's gamification. This is not the consulting. The consulting arm company is going to large organizations and saying, okay, let's make this work for you, right? And then they're taking the forkable fork and they're massaging it and tweaking it the way that they want it, what the leadership want. They may not
I
want
understand.
like Foundups is 100% DAO, right? It may be hard for them to stomach that.
Okay. Right. Okay. So there's developers and salespeople working that angle. They sell it, they develop it. They sell it, they develop it. They sell it, they develop it. There's 1,000 companies that say yes, and you go off and do it.
Yes,
Okay. Cool. Now you got 50 developers and 50 salespeople. Okay. Cool. I understand that.
they get paid. We get
And
paid
then
fiat to
oh
do that. We get paid a consulting. We have a cost
yeah.
to that. It may be $20,000, $30,000 for them to develop that
Right.
fork for them.
Right. Right. Okay. And then the value is explained in the proposition there. Okay. Okay. I think I'm over the hump of understanding it.
Okay.
Um, okay. So we're gonna set down the old idea of found just for a second in my mind, so I can. All right. So now you have now you've so what and what's taking
You None of that came through, brother. Say that again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cory. I'm not getting anything. I'm just getting a lot of static. Not static, but like it's just not connecting. Just talk to me normal, and I'll tell you when it starts coming through, and I'll say go.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Okay, go.
All right. If I invest $1 million into the consulting company, what do I get in coins, and how do I recoup my money, and how does the consulting company make it? Well, I understand the consulting company making money now.
Okay. So right now there's two options. Number one is, depending on how we set up the consulting company, if the investor wants a percentage in that company, we can set it up that way, right? Number two, there is the token, just like the other White Sequoia and all these other companies went into with this other project. There is the tokens.
Yeah.
The thing is we're going to be fair and equitable. There is no deal on the tokens. They're $1 each, no matter if you're a company or matter if you're an individual coming in. We're not playing favorites.
Okay. Keep it standard. Keep some integrity. Foundation.
So
Okay.
depends on what the investor wants. If they're the type of investor that wants an equity stake in the consulting company, fine, we will make that happen. If they're kind of investor that they, I'm just throwing it out there. We can work with the investor with what they want, right? Well,
my quest would be that you need an offer. Like, this would be the standard offer. This is the standard valuation.
okay.
All that stuff.
Okay. You're the expert on this. All right. Okay. I'll go with that.
No, I'm not really. I'm not really the expert.
Well,
but,
you've worked with companies and investors
that.
more than I have. So.
Yeah. Well, it's also a clusterfuck. And if you can just pay them in tokens, great.
That's what, and this is, again, we go to BitClout. That's what okay, Sequoia Capital, Andreessen, Winklevoss twins. I mean, we've got a list of people who are the very top of the food chain taking tokens. So we just leverage that.
I guess, yeah. I don't know what that means. What does that imply?
It means that if they're doing it, you should be able to do it and get off your high horse. And tokens is the thing. It's kind of
right. So if I have $1 million in Foundup tokens and you give them to me, how can I change them over to Bitcoin?
Because they're going to be listed. They're going to be listed on the exchanges. You can list the tokens on the exchange because they're going to be tied. The tokens that we are issuing are being tied to ERC20 token. They're being tied to an ADA token. They're being tied to a Polkadot token, right? So whichever way, if I issue these tokens, you can just go and stick them on an exchange saying they're for sale. There's nothing I can do to stop you. And then someone will come by and say, I'll give you $1.50 or $2 or whatever. Huh?
All right.
So here, Cory, let me just say this real quick. All right. The tokens that were sold to these guys, all right, they said they sold them for $5 and less. I don't believe it. I cannot believe Sequoia Capital paid anything but a penny to 10 cents a token. And any VC that I talk to agrees with me, right? Those tokens value right now is $160 each, and they're not even on an exchange. So my point is again, BitClout is proving and providing validation for everything I've been talking about for the last decade. BitClout.
That's fine. Again, that
okay.
is not anything that I really understand.
Well, my point is for an investor, we can say, look at Sequoia, look at the value of this token. The token is going to be on the market, right? And you can, and if you want, you can list your tokens at any time. After the first, we'll have a time period that can list.
Okay. So it goes up because you have a marketing budget, basically. I understand that about it. The more people that know about it, the more supply and demand, or perception. So it really boils down to the marketing budget. So this was the same thing that we were talking about when we were going to do an ICO.
Correct.
For the solar company.
Correct. Kind of, yeah. A little bit more involved.
Well, all I really wanted to do is get a proposal clear and introduce you to some people for starters.
Okay.
And see where that takes things.
Okay.
And so, I mean, whoever else you have helping do this, let's start working on that. I'll forward you this link from Adam, and you can look at that and click on those links and see this network group. I think there's plenty of people to talk to. I have two really high-end guys. One would have a real spiritual conversation with you. One would have a technical conversation with you.
I can do both.
Anyways, let's try to get this white paper and this pitch deck with all this stuff all dialed in.
Yeah.
And then how,
Here, I'm gonna make if what you can,
everything.
Cory, what you can do on the paper is ask questions. Just like as you as you read it, I'm gonna give you an editor version, and you can just ask a question in there, and they'll answer that question. As you're reading it, just make a space and ask the question. Right, just type the question right in the paper when you have a question. Okay, don't worry about messing it up, and then I can then answer that question, and then we can then take that and put that into that area. Okay.
So just think of your, that's cool. Send me that. I'll start understanding that. And then two, let's just dial this budget in and dial the executive summary in.
Okay, perfect.
So you said you already have somebody helping you with that?
Not really. I mean, I've everyone's busy and stuff, as you know how life is. But I have, the short answer is I have folks interested in the project. I can reach out to them and help for them to do that. I can ask them or just do it myself, and get it done.
Okay, so you started and you asked all the people that have been closest to you on that for comments and say, hey, me and my buddy are working on this. We're going to put some attention on it, some time. And so if you want to have influence right now, let me know, and you'll see who would help. And then we can probably finish it out, just you and me.
Yep. Okay, I'll do that right now. And I'm sending you.
Okay,
I'm sending you the link right now to the doc for editing. That's it. That's the Google Doc right there. If I need to add pop your Gmail in here. I think I may be able. Let me make. I think I'm pretty sure I have your email. Let me see here. I don't want that.
Sure.
Here, I got your Gmail. All right, I'm adding you.
Okay, so then the final piece is we can do this. This is no problem, man.
And then I'm going to share. Here is the spreadsheet I'm sharing with you too. And then,
okay, cool.
All right, and let's see. Okay.
Here's my question is, besides all of the fees for the staff, is there amounts of money that you have to pay to get listed on these exchanges?
There may be some fees, yeah. There may be exchange fees, but I'm not too worried about that because I think people will have the tokens and then they'll let them go there and list the tokens. The tokens will be out there and someone else will go there and list it. Again, I think of us as like the sword maker, right? When the tokens get listed on the exchange, they get listed on the exchange. Someone will list it. We don't need to necessarily be the ones listing it. Anyone can go in and list our token because they exist.
So, in the 2017, 18, one guy who kind of was a technical, smart guy, he's cool. He was saying, 1 to 4% of the total money is the marketing, what the marketing budget should be.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I don't know what that means now.
Well, that's the traditional way with an ICO is they own the tokens and they issue the tokens. The way that I'm doing Foundups is it works differently in the sense of how tokens are distributed. So there
All
are
right, well, let me read this stuff and let's touch base maybe tomorrow. And but I mean, if it's 10:38 here in Hawaii, that means it's 4:38 East Coast time. That means at 2 p.m. East Coast, it's going to be what time you?
2 p.m. is going to be what 3 a.m.
So that's too early.
Not really. I can go to bed early. I can get up at 3. I got up at 4. I actually was laying in bed this morning for about probably an hour. I was awoke. I just didn't
All
get
right, well,
up.
let me copy and paste that and forward it to you right now. And then yeah, let me get my phone charged up again because I'm in the jungle off grid.
Okay.
So and we can talk later today if you want.
Yeah, I'm here all day. So you can just if you I don't know if you ever use Discord, but I'm always in Discord. You can just pop in the Discord. I'm in my room in Foundups.
I don't have Discord.
Okay.
No.
Or just call me, whatever.
Okay, cool. All right, man. All right, cool. Yeah, this seems like the right time. I mean, I'll tell you some stuff that I want to do later on when it all gets up.
Yeah.
I guess I see something.
Yep. Sounds good, brother. All right, love you.
Okay, man.
All right, bye.
Love you too, bro.
All right. All right. That's a longtime friend of mine. He's been hearing about Foundups for a very long time. His name's Cory. He's a really, really smart guy.